So something I've rarely seen on YouTube are distance level editor videos. So I figured, why not start one of my first? You see how that works. Before I start this though, I want to give full credit to Backgrounds for showing me this last month. There was something I was trying to tackle down and I just didn't know how. So why not share this right here? This is what we call leapfrogging. So what is leapfrogging? Leapfrogging refers to a chain of event triggers where one event sets off another, which in turn triggers more events like a series of leaps from one to the next, hence the name leapfrogging. The first time I used this was in my track Magma Moon Marathon, to when you use leapfrogging to open a shortcut. After the shortcut is used, it'll change the combination to work on another set of leapfrogging. To show a visual of this, Backgrounds has sent me a small level showing how leapfrogging works. The boxes were made to show what the event triggers look like. Once you travel through one event trigger, another event trigger will pop up, and then another, and so on and so forth. This can be used for a lot of stuff. As seen with Magma Moon Marathon, it's used to open a shortcut. But for the more advanced features, you can use this for anti-skips. So let's boot up the editor and see how this is actually done. For starters, I'll work on a very small but simple track. My track may look a little different than yours. I have previously installed the Acceleracers track texture patch. If you are curious to know how this works, I will post a link in the description below. And perhaps a card on the top right-hand side of the screen. And if you're curious to know how I got the checkpoint to stay on the track, the hotkey for that is Ctrl+A. This kind of small thing can be found in the Tools tab in the editor. So here's my sample horseshoe. So, from here, find yourself the event trigger. Typically you wouldn't have this much stuff, but because I have the Editor Plus mod, I have extra event triggers, so don't mind that. Because you'll have more than one event, I would recommend to rename these events to something 1. For me, I just use Leapfrog 1 as the example, and set the same name as the event name. And of course by something, that's your own choice right there. This way, when you go into the Level Objects tab, you'll find your event easier, instead of, oh, where did I put this? What is it called? Oh no! Name your events. Also, be sure to check off one shot for your events, because you're not going to really be needing this unless you screw up, but I don't know. That's up to you. So here I am on Leapfrog 2, setting up the animations. You can combat this in 2 different ways. One is to have it slide down. This is what I use because this is just what I'm used to. The second method is to scale it down to -10. And why I say -10 is because that is when the object is not visible anymore. Even though event triggers are never visible, but you know what I mean. But for me, I'll just stick with the sliding method. So now that we got all of the event triggers, let's give them all, except for the first one, the event listener. In the event options, now because I had these slide, I want to set it to play in reverse for the on action, and the off action, I want it to stop. And what I normally do to play it safe is on wait and off wait, I check those. And for the event listener part, I'll set it to whatever event comes beforehand. So for example, working on Leapfrog 2, I want it to listen to Leapfrog 1. A dotted line will show from one trigger to the next, or previous, depending on how you want to look at it. These dotted lines will almost look like a trail from when you're done. So now let's add the anti-cheat. I want to add a kill grid to the end zone. I'll say during recording I forgot to animate the end zone, but luckily I was able to fix that on time. The kill grid will also listen to an event and will also be animated. The event that I want the kill grid to listen to is Leapfrog 4, or whatever final event that you have for the Leapfrog. And that's pretty much it for all I know, and I kind of want to make that clear because I don't really think somebody else watched what I said when I said I'm doing what I know. That was kind of a weird thing to remind somebody after saying that clear in a video once. But that's pretty much all I know when it comes to leapfrogging. If I miss something, feel free to add something in. And I don't really know if there's anything else I know much about the level editor. I'll probably leave that to other people to discuss. I don't know if I'll do any more level editor stuff because there's really not much that I know. Unless if there is something that somebody does want me to touch on that I know, I'll do it. Okay. But there's also another thing that I've been discussing with some other people because I've noticed this on Bile Stream, that somebody was interested in what kind of modeling skills that I use. So if anybody wants to see that, let me know and I'll do what I can to show off the things that I know about 3D modeling. That's only if people are interested. But for now, I guess all I can say is I hope you enjoyed. And Sunchipp out.